Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Perception Paradox. My name is Zivile, and I'm your host. And today we are continuing with SLUSH 2025 conference that's happening in Finland every year episodes. And today's interview is featuring a founder who has just graduated from 500 Global Eurasia program. He is a fellow Lithuanian, Arunas, and we sit down with him during the busy conference to talk about his journey of entrepreneurship, marketing. He is a three times founder, a very creative person, a great salesman, and always ahead of the game. So, this episode portrays entrepreneurial mindset, positivity, and what's possible. So, I hope you enjoy it, and let's dive in. Real people, real stories, and real challenges that break the status quo. I'm your host, Zivile, and welcome to Perception Paradox. Okay, so how is your SLUSH?
SLUSH is awesome, super busy.
Yeah.
A lot of events, a lot of meetings. Like I've been awake since 7 a.m. going to meetings, so it's like crazy.
I'm from 6:30.
Okay.
So is it like a competition who woke up earlier?
It's now, yeah.
I'm joking.
It's now
Did you
who's
go out?
started.
Did you go out last night?
We did go out last night. We
Where
actually had like a really cool. So we're part of 500 Global.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I
so
had to go there.
We had an event in there.
Hi, Pedro.
Pedro.
Hi, Elena and
yeah,
the team.
yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, you-
All right.
Even better. Even
Aye.
better. Thanks. Even better.
Okay, great.
Sweet.
Nice. So was it a good one? I missed that one. It was so sad.
It was brilliant. Yeah, loved it. A lot of great connections, a lot of cool startups. You know what's really, really funny is because there's so many actually investors in
Yeah.
SLUSH versus the volume of startups.
Yes.
I think there's like unhealthy balance now.
Do you think it's a leverage or not for you?
It's absolutely an leverage for us because we're planning to do a pre-seed round.
Yeah.
So it's like the best time for us in here.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
Arūnas
Vismantas.
Vismantas.
Close enough.
Why did I say Vasiliauskas?
I don't know. Maybe you have some
Okay.
other guy that's.
Maybe I'm supposed to interview someone else. I'm
May-
joking. Okay,
maybe you're supposed to.
Okay. Arūnas Vismantas, welcome
Yeah.
to Perception Paradox.
Thanks.
Yeah, great to hear your good energy, good vibe.
Yeah.
That you're super up for SLUSH, actually.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting. Great to be here and
Yeah.
great to speak to you and meet you actually.
Yeah,
So,
likewise. We always would cross paths and like chit chat very briefly,
yeah.
but never really got a chance to dig deeper into the conversation. And
Cool.
I've heard about you as being someone who is, I don't know, I feel like first of all you seem like someone just go getter. You're not afraid to just take a phone call and
Yeah.
just to give a call. And also I find you very creative. In terms
Cool.
how you're navigating entrepreneurship, you've been working on different ventures.
Yeah.
You always seem on your, let's say, the way you communicate on LinkedIn or through the ecosystem, like some kind of a bit of grow hacking and so on. So I'm so curious to unlock a bit your founder's mindset
Sweet. Yeah,
because
let's
we're at
try that.
SLUSH Founders Conference. So I don't know. So where would we begin? Let's say. Let's start from where you are right now. You
Yeah.
are building a new company, and you mentioned that you
Yeah.
will be fundraising
Yeah.
soon. So tell me about it.
So we, this is my third startup. So and that's aside like regular businesses that we build. So before I start anything, I actually try to kill it as much as possible because
Okay.
the reality of it is like, if you really want to build something, it's gonna consume everything you have, and you need to just go full on with full energy. You cannot half-ass anything. So if you're doing it, you're either doing it or not doing it.
So half doesn't work. Like part-time startup
it's
founder,
like-
part-time yoga.
You can do that for some time. Like you can do it from like initial MVP before like things get like before you commit to like raise capital or do anything like that, or like do actual like client acquisition, things like that. That works. But then once you cross, like there's this period where you go like, okay, right, so we tried this. We normally like when I build something, we build something in an MVP stage, we let it into the life, and then we see if like it can get some traction, if it flows. Like basically, if it's gonna survive by itself without really hardcorely selling, you can pitch here and there, maybe give somebody to try. If it survives and people are willing to actually pay money for it, that is when you go like, okay, we need to build this now. And so for me, it's always about ads. So once we kind of go through that, then you start to introduce new people. You can introduce teams. You can raise capital. You can do all these things. So for us, we've been now 5 months in as a company in the market. We build AI solutions, voice AI solutions for e-commerce businesses. And yeah, it's been just kind of like a rocket that we shoot it off. So in June, we got into first pick AI Accelerator, graduated from that, started to acquire merchants. In September, we got into 500 Global Accelerator, and that's like tier 1 VC funding round. We're doing that now. We got 150 merchants using our solution now. So like, you know,
in such a short time, that's quite good.
Yeah. And so we're just rapidly growing, and yeah, we wanna build like a serious big business, you know. So.
Sounds like that. So what do you think you've done different so far than other competitors that you started gaining such a traction?
We actually solve a problem, like real problem. So the reality, a lot of times when startup founders do something, they kind of look at it and they go, yeah, there's definitely a problem. But it's like, it's their kind of opinion of it rather than the real problem there is to solve. So like what we're doing, we're solving a very specific e-commerce problem. It has abandoned carts. We recover them through phone calls, voice phone calls with AI, and we generate revenue for brands. So it's like, it's very transparent and like, oh, yeah. Like if I speak with 10 e-commerce brands, 8 of them are gonna say, yeah, absolutely, this is like an issue, we need to fix this.
Okay, so tell me, so let's say if I abandon my cart, I'm doing that often, like to understand the worst. So what happens? I get a generated AI call for me to remind about my left cart?
You get a call, and it's not about reminder about, we started from this like basic stuff where it calls and it goes like, oh, here's the discount. But now we go into this like,
like discounts.
where it digs deeper. So you can actually what happened, you know, were you not happy, were the pricing not working? Like normally when people don't buy something, there's an objection that something kicked in. And it could be too expensive. It could be that like I'm not ready to commit, like stuff like that. So yeah, so this AI calls, like he has these conversations, he answers some question, he does it like in a very humane way. And then normally he offers like some sort of a good deal for you to, you know, to persuade you to kind of finish the transaction. And then if you go, well, yeah, whatever, I want it, I don't want it, you're good to, you know, take your action. But yeah, it's we've done now 12,000 calls in like these few months. So we're accelerating rather fast. And the beautiful thing about AI is that it's fully scalable. You know, it's like it has no boundaries. There's no global jurisdictions. It speaks in like 40 different languages. It can do different accents and stuff like that. So it's super personalizable. Yeah.
So So you are the guy who are also noticed like someone about all the e-commerce and buying decisions. So how do people respond to the buying online? Because it has shifted a lot, right? We've got way more, let's say, recommendations. Before it was not the case. I do recall the days where the filtering was super hard. So it kind of seems easier, but at the same time, I find it a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, I think you know, like most successful brands, they don't just go like, oh, you know, here's like we're gonna do e-commerce and that's it. You really want to like build a system around it. So it's not about just like the direct to consumer is a very good approach. Like there's a D2C brands where you own the manufacturing maybe, or you own like, you know, so it's like you don't have any middlemen. So you go like, okay, we build it and we sell it. So like we have a lot of successful brands in that, even in Lithuania. So Burger is one of those brands. So they do everything from
Regular records.
You know, so that's like Pulsteto is now another one. So there's all these like so you know all
shout
these
out podcast basically.
Exactly. But so for that reason they're like really good because they can like generate huge value for the client, you know. And so if you do that, you're already like on a good trench. Most of them are very hard marketing heavy. So that means you're not like before it used to be that, oh, I build the product and people will come to you. Now you need to advertise, you need to advertise it aggressively, you need to understand math behind it, you need to know how it works, and then you need to, you know, make sure that you have enough cash flow so you don't go bankrupt before doing anything. But I would say the biggest unfair advantage that and this is my opinion, like you shouldn't really be thinking just e-commerce. You should be from day one thinking omnichannel, and that could mean like you need to kind of get somewhere in physical world as well. If it's stores, that's cool, because that like works in a very different like social proving scene for people, and especially like there's just so much scam, you know. so you know, so you wanna be different, so you're not like you know. And then like even our solution, what it does, it like it actually helps with that, because people go like, oh, I didn't buy because like number one objection is actually, oh, I thought it was scam. So it's like for like less known brands, that's like a real like, you know, objection to kind of go through before people commit to buy.
Oh, 100%. Like, well, with the scam thing, it's just wild. So talking about all those, I would say, are these AI agents basically the ones who are reaching out? Or
AI assistants, AI persona, agents, like, but like
how do you need
assistants.
to prepare them? Like when it comes to, you know, human connection, human interaction, are they really better than human doing that work? Or what's the approach for you when training the model?
So they're actually a lot better, I would say. Like I spent many years in my previous life. I worked in like in UK, and I lived and worked in some projects around the world. So like a lot of my job was to ensure like great customer service and for people. And the reality of it, it's actually very difficult. There's only that amount of people that can do like customer service really well, that can provide really good, like, you know, wow customer service where you can call and can do it consistently. Like you can do it for maybe 3 months, like, and then you get, you know, less hyped or less excited, and then becomes like a regular job. And then it's like a lot of times, like, I don't know, you know, even us, we live in Lithuania, customer service is like quite bad, actually, I would say. You know, we just don't have the culture yet, but we'll get there. So ensuring that is a whole new level thing when it comes to consistently. And AI is brilliant for that, because it can do things consistently well, day in, day out, 24/7, not take holidays, don't get sick, and all of that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm very happy to have in front of me the marketing guy and all about performance. And I think it's a very crucial topic nowadays when we see difficulties of brand scaling. And a bit of, well, correct me if I'm wrong, changes in the marketing funnels, the way the algorithms react, the changes into the regulations, etc. What's your take on performance marketing? How is it changing right now?
So I think like it's been changing always.
It's always changing.
It's always changing.
I've seen like everyone is like now super like alert. That's lots of companies.
So what happened recently is that there was this Andromeda, like everybody relies on one channel, and that's a good strategy, because like going like into different channels, it's very early, it's very expensive, complicated, and you might not have like the great ROAS, return on investment. But like so Andromeda came in, like AI, Meta introduced like this new kind of layer of complexity in there, and then what happened is that everybody used to do the same thing. So you have like some of these ads, and those ads, you know, they're working. So you call them evergreen ads. You change maybe a little bit like the concept colors or something like that around them, and you just push huge volumes of those. And they just keep on working, because like they resonate for whatever reasons with masses of people, and it works, and they convert well. But with these like new changes that now Meta introduced, what happens is that you need to have a big creative differences. So your ads will work for a bit, and then Meta is just gonna go, yeah, we don't want actually people to see the same over and over for like the next six months. So now you have to have these huge creative like banks. And it's I think it's one of those things, you know, it's for somebody who's doing the creative strategy right, it's a massive opportunity, and for those who just very relied on basic minimalistic stuff that works for them is going to be a huge challenge.
So basic is not enough anymore, basically just the higher needs, and you need to put more work.
More work. But the beautiful thing as well, that I think for in marketing in generally, AI is like, you know, it provided a new level of creative scaling and like new ways to build creative. So it's like, at the same time, it's like, you know, you got that. So like traditional UGC, for example, like most brands relied on UGC. Now there's like AI UGCs. There's all different variations. There's AI editing. So so, you know.
Look, also for me, it looks like you're very good on the figuring out the momentum, what's hot right now in the market, including you were building the pod base, right? And it went really also fast traction, and you sold it, or what's happened with it?
We did, so this was a project which I joined with Burga founders. And so the idea is that they obviously have the manufacturing side of the business, and they have the direct to consumer. So they were like, okay, we can use the manufacturing side and help, like, allow different creators as well to use the manufacturing and sell their own designs and all of that. So we went, it was fully bootstrapped business. So we did from 0 to like 100K MRR in like 18 months, built the whole team in there. It's just because we had like a very good value proposition. So there was like an opportunity market that I saw, tech accessories, and it just worked. So, you know, if you build something that is really in demand in the market, you will always get like clients organically even, you know. And that's like, I think the one thing, like the best way to test your idea is like, do people organically come to you? If they don't, well, you know, you're gonna need like a lot of marketing knowledge and skills to then promote it and grow it. But if they actually do, if there's like some people, doesn't really matter, 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever, comes and then starts to organically browse and find and maybe buys, and then solution might not be perfect, you know. So like in Lithuania, we love to focus on like quality of the price. So like most people are obsessed with like,
it has
like,
to be perfect. Come
yeah.
on, dude.
Yeah, but it's not. Like, the reality is it can be, as long as it does the job and people can actually buy things through it, like even if it's like not perfect, it's fine, you know, and that's enough for MVP. But then you can perfect things as you go along. But if there's nobody that's coming to you, even if you have a perfect product, then, well, nothing is going to change, you know.
Cool. You already just a bit touched base about this mentality, right? That it needs to be perfect, but at the same time, we see lots of not only Lithuanian, but the Baltic founders building and breaking, I would say, quite fast in the later scenarios as well. If we compare to different type of founders, so yourself being a Lithuanian Baltic founder, what do you think? What makes us unique?
I think we're really good engineers. I think like generally Baltic people are really good engineers. Like we have good math. Like, you know, like math works in our brains, and like we're good in that. We're now also getting really good in creative side as well. If you go back like 5 years ago, marketing wasn't like the strongest trait in the Baltics, like for the people. And now we have all these like, you know, all these brands that I think they kind of introduce all these like, you know, creative people. And so now we're getting in that as well. And I think in the next 5-10 years, like Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, we're just gonna skyrocket in terms of startups. There's so many big brands that are like now already like seeding like other startups, and there's like, and it accelerates. Like it's really crazy. So there's, you know, like kind of like startups that did Series A. They a lot of them already like, you know, have maybe like 5-6 like people pivoting from them and like building their own stuff. And now with all these vibe coding opportunities where you can just vibe code something in like an hour,
which is
like
wild.
it's crazy. Then you only like you can test and iterate super fast. And so, you know, that's once again opens a whole new dimension of everything. And I think we're now living in these ages where engineering is obviously shifting. So you have to be a very sort of high level engineer, because then you have all these AIs and that works to your advantage. And then it's golden ages for anyone who understands how marketing works. Marketing and sales, I would say. Because then you can vibe code stuff, which used to take weeks or months to do. Now you can do in hours. And you can create almost micro SaaS solution or micro whatever things to work for you as a funnel, part of the funnel, acquisition customers. So there's so many opportunities in there. And then as long as you're like good in marketing and sales, you have an unfair advantage in today's world. And I think that's where like a lot of our like, you know, young people are moving. They're going for like, it used to be like, oh, I'm building stuff and like, you know, I love it. But now it's much more, okay, I'm building, but I want to make money. Or like I need to get traction fast. And I love that. Like I think that's like gonna like take us to a whole new level in like next 5-10 years. We're like, we're gonna be a center of like tech startups and things like that.
So
in Europe.
wow, that's really inspiring. So, and I keep meeting lots of founders. And traction and also distribution, two big challenges everyone is facing. So let's say right now you're starting again over from zero, new idea. What would be your approach towards your marketing and sales?
You need to sell before you build anything. Really. So you know, if you don't have any clients that like wants to even test things that you're doing, then like maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Like the reality of it is like, if you understand the problem, then you should be kind of close to somebody who needs the solution, like in some way, you know. And there's all these unparalleled options and like unprecedented ways of like how you can communicate. Like there's LinkedIn's, all these social media, TikToks, like there's just billions ways of how to get the initial traction. But you need that in order to verify what you're going to be doing. I think the biggest challenge is like you build something, you get traction, that's pretty cool. You go like, oh yeah, it works now. But then what do you do next? And so that's where you need to have a structure. Like that's where I think experienced founders like have an advantage, because they understand, okay, so how do I prioritize things? What is the plan? How are we going to like budget things? You know, budgeting is a big topic of that. And it doesn't necessarily need money. It means it could be time. How do you budget time? You know, and how do you find co-founders? Like, and like also co-founders is a big topic. It's like you can be. I met so many people. They get greedy before like there's anything to get greedy about.
That's such a red flag.
It's like you have like a product, you maybe own like 100% of the shares, and they go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give my co-founder like 1%, 2%. So it's bullshit.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, so but there is startups I've met in even in the US that operate quite successfully. They're growing, and they go like they introduce team, so it's kind of like you would normally get paid at the job, but like they go like, oh, if you pay us, we'll let you join, and then you get reverse vesting rights.
Wow, that's a manipulation, full on.
But some of them actually do it and do it pretty well. So it's like it's crazy, like the.
Oh, sweet Jesus! So how did you find your co-founders over the course?
I always bump into them like in some points in my life. So like this Callsy.ai, which we're building it together with Arūnas. I met Arūnas 9 years ago. In the first startup we worked, he was a CTO. I kind of came in as a CMO. And so we had this good vibe, connection, and things. The startup, eventually we left the startup. And then a few years ago, we were in Web Summit, randomly bumped in, and I was like, okay, yeah, we need to do something. And so we went off and started to build some stuff. So you will have that, that's like, 100%. I think that's like where, but that's where you need to be in the world. I think a lot of Gen Z people now we're very kind of like introverted, stuck in there, like sitting in front of screens.
That's true.
So
we don't like people.
Yeah.
Younger generations.
I think that's a big challenge. I think because they don't go to bars, like
nobody drinks nowadays.
Nobody drinks, and so, but that's where like the real connection, relationships happens. Because even if you co-found something like with somebody, that doesn't really mean like you're gonna be alright to work with that person for like next 5 years. It's almost it's like getting married, in many ways. Like it's like the same thing. You need to have the skills of relationship, and then all relationships are built on problems that you solve, not the positive stuff. Always.
Beautiful. We still have time. I would like to a bit touch base on the current founder's journey you're going through. There are different ways of building the company, from bootstrapping to going a very traditional VC way, going through accelerators and so on. What you've done, you went first with first pick, your first check, and then you continued with 500 Global. What made you to choose this course?
So we kind of went out into the market. What I really, really love about First Pick is that they're super fast and simple. Like actually, like from VC perspective and the way they fund things, yes, there's some questions. They're going to challenge you. Yes, they're going to push you back. But like they make the decision, like you have this 1 week to make the decision. They give you an offer, and then off you go. And then like very straightforward process. You're good to go. You get some money to do stuff. We kind of did that, and we were like, okay, so what's next? Maybe we should rise around, like maybe we shouldn't, like, and at some point I had a call with another founder, and he was like, oh, we did this 500 Global thing, and they were like, his name is Kostas, by the way. He was like an alumni, and he was like, it's a brilliant, actual accelerator. It gives you so much structure. There's like all these experienced mentors, like they really, really work with you. Like this is probably from like perspective of doing a program, I feel like I'm back in university a lot of times, because there's a lot of classes, sessions, but you get all these mentors. And the thing is, what they do is they frame you the KPIs, which you should be aiming for, and then challenge you on those. And so that's what it gives you. They put you into this forceful like mentality of like, we need to do things fast. And you get frameworks. You get like people who does ops and marketing, and somebody does sales, and you can always just go to them and say, look, I don't know how to sell. And it goes like, well, what do you do now? And they help you build this. And then if you don't know how to do marketing, like they help you build this. So I think it's a lot about it is about experimenting fast, like winning, like know what winning and losing is like in which experiments, and then killing those that don't, and then doubling down on those that you do winning.
Awesome. Couldn't say it better way. I had great experience with 500 Global as well.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. I went to host their demo day in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
A few months ago. So I really saw the hands-on work.
Yeah.
And I've been working with many different accelerators, and that was literally one of the top-notch works I've seen.
Yeah.
So it was really great. That's why I was shouting out to the guys. Hi, guys, who are listening for us today. Anyway, that is super, super cool.
Nice.
So what are you doing different right now than in your previous companies? Because you've mentioned, right, you every experience is on the
Yeah.
list, and you come out with some kind of new insights. So what are...
We're just like doing a lot more experiments, a lot faster, a lot more structured. Like the reality is like quite simple. So before that, I used to go, oh, so this kind of acquisition model works for us, and like let's keep it that. Now I go like, okay, so we have 5 acquisition models, and then if like I don't know which one performs now best, I still don't know, but it's fine because you go like, well, this seems to be doing something, and then this one does like in a different way. So you can like, but you just do these experiments. So you go, okay, we're gonna do like meta ads for this funnel, and then you do it and you run it for a week and go, okay, yeah, it's good, it's not good, you kill it. So you become much more methodical on things the way you do it. But you also, I think, you know, founders need to do, like somebody said, like founders need to do 4 things, only 4 things. So one is that you need to sell and market it. So that's the first thing, right? You need to also, you know, speak with the customers, so get their feedback. That's the second thing. You need to do, you need to raise capital, so speak with investors, and then you need to build a product. So it's like, yeah, but that's like everything. You know? But the reality is like, so you need to have like, if you're gonna go down that path, you need to have like a system. If you don't have a system for yourself, it just gets overwhelming. Because you know you're gonna need to recruit, like at some point. So that's operations. And if you never recruit it, like it's a challenge. You know, if you've never done sales, that's gonna be another challenge. So you need to also know your strengths. So if you're not good at something, it's fine to actually look for the resource that can help you and solve that. But, you know, not everybody is like, I think a lot of people are like really strong in their ego. So,
ego is your biggest enemy sometimes, no?
Yeah.
How did you learn to cope with yours? We all have
I'm
ego.
still coping. I don't think you will ever learn, but like there's moments of like, you know, there's good moments and there's bad
100%.
moments. So yeah, I guess like you just need to at some point like critically think like, can I like solve this problem? And you go like, I can, but like it's gonna cost that much energy. And you go, actually maybe I should just go and ask somebody who like. So normally when I face a problem that I don't really know, I try to just go on calls with people that does that. And it's phenomenal. Like if you need to hire an engineer and you know nothing about the engineers, the best way is to speak with 10 engineers. They're gonna tell you, like, do 15 minutes calls, like, and they're gonna tell you, oh, this, oh, I would do it this way. You can then extract and go like, well, here's what we're gonna do now.
One of the best advices I've had in my life, I think. Well, you just have to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's it, done.
That's super powerful. Like especially if you're in early stages. Like a good example for us was like we needed some legal counseling, and you know, hiring lawyers is expensive. And at some point, I remember there was like some like startup clinic some law firm did somewhere. So I was like, I'm just gonna send an email saying like, hey guys, maybe somebody can like talk with us. And then just send it for about 2 weeks later, somebody responded, oh, hey guys, by the way, you know, sorry we missed this email. Yeah, we can jump on a call and like have a 30 minutes, 45 minutes chat. And then you know, you would have paid like 300 maybe bucks or euros for that, you know. So it's like
100%.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Arunas, if we will be sitting here in 1 year, where do you think you will be with your company? What's your grand vision and milestone?
So we want to build it into like, at the moment we're focusing on these very niche problems, but this is like the step 1 for us. So we're in the next 6 months we want to raise capital. Well, actually 3 months we want to raise capital, and then we're gonna expand the team. I would say quite aggressively, engineering, sales, marketing. And then we want to go to $1 million annual revenue by the end of 2026. So.
Say no more. I hope you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I have a tradition on this podcast to leave the listeners with a thought to ponder.
Yeah.
And what would be your thought for everyone to take from this conversation?
Yeah, I think you know, everybody should take risks. First of all, like if you're in the point of life where you're not super happy about what you're doing, you should actually do the leap of faith. You know? Just do that. Like bet on yourself. Like if you're not gonna bet on yourself, no one else will. So for me, it's all about that. And then life kind of, you know, figures things out as you move along. Like nobody has a plan. Like there's like everybody imagines they have a plan, but the reality is that you can have these plans. 100% they will fail. They will redirect you, but you learn so much as you move along. So just bet on yourself and take some risks.
Wow, what a philosophical way to end this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for finding time today.
Thank you.
And I wish you a great slush, Van, so you could get closer towards your goals.
Yeah, great.
And see you when I see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And you know, let's let's meet up next year and see
Yeah.
where we are.
All right, I can't wait. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it was Arūnas from Callsy.ai. If you haven't checked it, check it out. We're saying hi from SLUSH and see you next time. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Yay!